Hello everyone, this is Ms. Siddiqui here. In this video we are going to talk about writing a thesis statement for an argumentative research paper, as that is your cumulative assignment for the Ellen Foster unit. Let's get started. So first of all, you've probably written thesis statements before, you've written essays before. So we're going to kind of refine the definition that you already have of a thesis statement for an argumentative research paper. So a thesis statement is a sentence in your paper that clearly and concisely does the following things. Indicates the subject of your research, the argument you will make, the main points you will discuss, and the order in which you will discuss them in your paper. So why do you need to know what a thesis is? Well, you've all chosen one of these 7 topics for your research: the foster care system, child abuse and neglect, childhood grief, child nutrition, segregated schools, children of alcoholics, or early childhood education. What I've asked you to do in researching this topic and exploring this topic is to make a specific argument about this topic and answer the research question contained in the prompt. So what your thesis statement does is it answers that research question, and then your paper, the 4 or 5 pages you will write, develops the argument that answers that question. So the basic thesis statement formula is that your thesis statement needs to tell the reader what the topic is, make the argument that you will flesh out in the body of your essay, and it should allude to the main supporting points for that argument. Each main point should have 1 or 2 paragraphs in the actual paper, so you should figure out a way to recap the idea in a phrase or 2 in your thesis statement. So topic plus argument plus an allusion to the main supporting points equals your thesis statement. So just some basics about a thesis statement. In an argumentative research paper, the goal of the thesis is to make a claim about the topic and justify the claim with reasons and evidence. So your thesis manages to do this in 1 sentence, whereas your paper does that in the 4 to 5 pages. So your claim could be an opinion on the topic, a proposal for reform, or an evaluation of your given topic, depending on which topic you chose and which prompt you selected. So the claim that you make in your thesis statement must be a statement that somebody could possibly disagree with. So your thesis statement is based on facts, but it is not a fact itself. It is an argumentative claim that somebody could refute with their own researched evidence. So the goal of your paper is to convince your audience that your claim is true and valid based on the evidence that you present, but it must be one that can be refuted with counter evidence. So remember, the thesis statement is an argument using facts. It itself cannot be a fact. So what's the point of a thesis? It can assert an argument, explain a topic, or analyze an issue. It is specific in presenting your position. It limits both the scope and topic of your paper, because remember, these topics like the foster care system, child nutrition, those are really broad topics, and as you found from your research on EBSCOhost, you can get 26,000, 40,000 hits if you just type that topic. So what you're doing is you are refining your searches, and in that same vein, you're going to refine your thesis, which will limit the scope and topic of your actual paper. And then finally, the point of a thesis is also to capture your reader's interest and focus their interest on the topic, because then they will be more likely to buy into your argument, which is the goal of the paper. So a strong thesis should come at the end of the introduction paragraph. So typically you'll do a funnel introduction, you'll tell us your topic, you kind of narrow the scope of the topic, and then you'll present your argument in about 1 or 2 sentences. A strong thesis should be specific when clearly stating your claim or assertion. The strong thesis should state the reasons or evidence that support your claim. So remember, alluding to the reasons and evidence you're going to flesh out in your paper. The thesis statement should be written in the order in which you will be presenting your reasons and evidence. You want to have a logical sequence to your paper, and so therefore your thesis should reflect that. And then a thesis statement, remember, expresses one main idea with multifaceted supports. So your thesis statement should always be answering a question. So at this stage in our research, it's okay for you not to have a definitive thesis yet, but I want you to start thinking about what it could look like based on your findings about the topic. So as you continue to research your topic, your ideas will become more specific and your claim and supports will become more clear to you. Your thesis will in turn change to reflect your new insights and findings. So what I want you to do with your topic group right now, your task, is to discuss your key takeaways from this video and define a thesis statement in your own words. So talk about it with your group and then record your definition on your topic-specific handout at the table. Then, read over your specific prompt again and write out what you think the specific research question is that I'm asking. Then, pool together your research findings thus far and write a sample thesis statement with your group that answers that research question. I'll ask you to kind of diagram the parts of the thesis statement as well. So go ahead and get started on that task. And thank you for watching.